Disclaimer: all my videos are for educational purposes only. I am teaching and explaining investment trading to everyone, but I am not giving out any advice. All investments are subject to market risks, so please evaluate carefully before you invest, as you may lose your investment.
Hey guys, finally I'm back after such a long time. It's so great that I'm finally back with you guys with another video. So now some of you might be wondering as to why I took such a long break, which is anyways evident from my hair. But the reason is due to the second wave of coronavirus picking up in my place, I decided that I wanted to stay safe, as well as the fact that I did not want the quality of my videos to be compromised or affected in any way, so that you guys get the best learning experience out of them. So I decided I'll take a break from making videos until the situation seems to stabilize over here. And now, since they are coming under control over here, I decided I cannot wait anymore. I just want to jump right back in and start making my videos. So before I talk about today's video, I want to do a quick recap of the past 5 videos I've already made. So my first video, I talked about the history of investments, how people used to invest in the 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, 2000s, all of that. Then I started to talk about the 5 major classes of investments: bonds, stocks, real estate, commodities, and currency. Then I talked about some fundamental basics you do need to keep in mind before you even start to invest. And then I talked about a special kind of stocks in my last video called ETFs, or exchange traded fund. Now, if you haven't seen any of those videos, please do check it out after this video. Now, coming up to today's video is a really interesting and really special video for me, because this is something you guys need to know and need to understand. That is, how exactly a company goes public. How does a company become publicly trading on a stock exchange? Now, to answer that, you need to know about the 3 routes a company can take to become public. Those 3 routes are: 1, via a merger; 2, by acquisition from a company; or 3rd, which is the traditional route which most companies take, called IPO, which is initial public offering. So I want to deal with each one of them in a separate video. So this video has been divided into 3 parts to tackle each one of them separately. So now let's head off and talk about the first route a company could take: mergers. Now, let's discuss what exactly is a merger. So, a merger is an agreement that unites 2 already existing private or publicly trading companies to form a new company. Now, there are several reasons why a company actually does a merger. So, mergers are commonly done to expand a company's reach, or to expand into a new segment or area, or to gain market share and tap into the other company's audience and influence base. Now, in a merger, the shares of the old companies are dumped and new shares are then issued, and they are distributed in the same ratio and value as was held in the previous companies. Now, another point of mergers you do need to keep in mind and you need to understand, because it's a really interesting thing, that sometimes some companies can form a bigger corporation kind to incorporate all smaller companies under one big umbrella. Now, to give you an example of one, you can think about Walt Disney Company, because earlier it used to be just Disney Corporation. However, then it changed to Walt Disney Company after acquiring and merging with some companies like Pixar, which then was briefly called Disney's Pixar, if you remember. And then it also merged with Marvel. It acquired ABC, and recently it acquired 21st Century Fox, among other companies. So now instead of Disney and Pixar and combining these huge names, they decided to encompass it over one huge umbrella. So now, since you've understood what exactly a merger is, let's figure out some of the examples in the recent past how two companies have merged and how do they deal with that merger. Come on, let's see some examples of mergers which have happened in the recent past. So I'm going to give three examples, each from a different industry, just so that you guys get a general sense of how mergers actually happen. So the first industry I'm going to talk about is the food industry, and in that I'm going to talk about Kraft Heinz. So earlier it used to be two separate companies, Kraft Foods Group Incorporated and H.J. Heinz Holding Corporation. Now, Kraft Foods Group and H.J. Heinz merged on July 6th, 2015, forming the third largest food and beverage company in North America and the fifth largest food and beverage company in the entire world, unparalleled in its portfolio of iconic brands. Now, the second one I'm going to talk about is the automobile industry, and in that, Daimler-Chrysler. Now, it was earlier two companies, Daimler-Benz, which from the name itself you can guess, the iconic Mercedes-Benz manufacturer, and Chrysler Corporation. Now, they merged in November of 1998. However, it was a failed merger of sorts because in less than a decade later, Daimler-Chrysler announced that it was going to sell 80.1% of Chrysler part to a private firm. Now, the third and the last industry I want to talk about is the brewery industry. So in that, I want to talk about Anheuser-Busch InBev. Now, this company was formed by multiple mergers, consolidations, and market extensions in the beer market. Now, this was formed by using three companies. Interbrew, which was based in Belgium, Ambev, which was based in Brazil, and Anheuser-Busch, which was based in the United States. Now, first, Ambev merged with Interbrew to form InBev, which merged the number 3 and number 5 largest breweries in the world at that time. And then when InBev merged with Anheuser-Busch, it merged the number 1 and number 2 largest breweries in the world, becoming the top brewery in the world, unparalleled in its manufacturing ability. So there are these amazing different mergers which have happened in the recent past, and it's a really cool and interesting examples to study more. Hey guys, it's time for me to take your leave now. I know I said that last time and I ended up taking a huge break, but I promise this time I won't. But I hope you really enjoyed this video today, and I hope you learned a lot about mergers and what they are, how they work, the different examples of mergers, what are the reasons why mergers happen, and a general sense of how these mergers take place in the real world. So I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I do hope you are looking forward to my next part of this video on acquisitions, because trust me, it's going to be insanely fun and amazing to learn. So until my next video, stay tuned, take care, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.